Okay, let's do a technical analysis on lend. Why am I interested in lend right now? Well, take a look. Alright, it just ended up moving up about 10% in the past hour and a half there. Its volume is insane right now. So yeah, it's a pretty good time to be going into it. Looking at lend right now on Binance, it's doing $70 million, 12% volatility there. Okay, that's pretty big. So we want to keep an eye on that for sure. I've never traded it before, but that's some pretty crazy volatility. Not interested, can't short. So lend is on my mind right now. And we're gonna do a simple Elliot Wave on here. I'm not really sure how it's gonna break down, but we gotta try. Absolute best. I would assume this would be kind of a first wave somewhere there. Excuse me, I drew that wrong. From down here, I would suppose. That's the most identifiable structure that we would see, right? Would you agree with me? Yeah, I'd say so. OCD moments are kicking in. Okay, let's break that down now. Different time frame. We're going to say that the trend-based fib extension, we're going to take that, start from this point, click here next, come down. And this one barely did a 1-to-1, and this one's a 1-6-1-8. It seems to make sense to me. This one does in between, in the middle. Next one I would project, if that one does wave 3, would be the middle of these two. Something like that, right? Sometimes it's not always guaranteed, but it's just basic to assume that, for example, if it hits exactly 1-6-1-8 or near there or above there, like, if the first one, wave 3, ended up hitting, like, for example, there, you would expect the next one to hit somewhere around that range as well, right? Does that make sense? Where, like, it hits 1-6-1-8 above it slightly, right? So the next target, if this one was wave 3, just hypothetical, and the wave 4 came down, you would expect wave 5 to maybe hit somewhere there as well, right? Or a little bit smaller, maybe like right up here. See what I mean? So I'm just talking about how we project these extensions here just by kind of extrapolating the information that we have. So that if this is actually the structure, cool, makes sense. Let's look for some bearishly diverging signs right now on lend. Okay, let's go on a high time frame first, 2 days. Whoa, mother of pearl. That's some insane RSI in the 2-day, bro. Is that real? Where it's at 90? Are you freaking kidding me? Wow. Oh, it's only been since May though. So it's not the best indication. That's alright. What exchange has it been on the longest? Let's take a look. Poloniex, probably. I'm guessing Poloniex. Nope. I guess it's July. Huh. How about hit BTC? It's been pretty flat for a pretty long time. So we're just gonna say that this is the perfect time. Okay? Alright. So we're just gonna use it on Binance just to make sure. I'm just seeing if there's any other exchanges. Okay, perfect. So that's already erupted. So now we're at literally like a higher side. 12 hour. We're definitely getting a lower high, right? Each peak, we're getting a lower high. Wave 3 is lower, wave 5 is lower. On the 8 hour, not quite yet, but definitely on the higher time frames, we're starting to see that this could very well be the 5th wave. And if we can even count the 5 waves in here, we could probably time it for a really nice short position. Coming up here. Let's go for like a 45-minute chart, right? So we gotta be able to break down these structures. Okay, so right now we don't know if that's just the first subwave of the 5th wave, right? You see what I mean? So it has to be proportional as well. So maybe we're just gonna go like a 1 hour chart. Even if, like, if you were to break down the third wave, you'd have to dig down pretty deep to break it. Probably go to 8 hour, might be more visible, might even look something like this. Who knows? Something like that, small 5, right? Because then that could have been even your 1, 2, 3, 4, and a big 5. Who knows in these types? Even on a daily to see. There's just so many variables to count, right? But either way, what we see is that on a high time frame, we see that this is how it pretty much breaks down and how it looks to be right based on how proportional they are, right? And the length and the duration and the major pivots that are visible. Okay? So then we got to figure out right here. But then we need to say to ourselves, right, well, if we want to be able to break down wave 5, we got to be able to break down the other waves to see how proportional it could be as well, right? So just based on major pivots, let's say on an 8-hour chart. Even using something like that earlier that I counted, right? I mean, that it could have been a small 1, small 2, huge 3, 4, and a 5. Or this one could have been right here, 2, and that could have been there, right? So this one looks fairly proportional, you can say, so far, right? So this is the one that we're going on. Like that range there, okay? I'm just demarcating the area. On the 4-hour, oh, sorry, we're not doing that one. We're taking a look at this structure here. I was very confused there for a moment. Okay, so then we corrected to the downside here. Maybe I should just draw this in, just so we can actually have like a, excuse me here, like a solid time frame of when we're. Okay, just to remind myself as well that we're looking at the very last structure, because this here makes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and this one falls short of 1, 6, 1, 8. So we're trying to find out if this is the 5 subwaves that are in place here already. So are these 1, 2, now it looks pretty nice, right? 3, 4, and 5, right? So then if it is, excuse me, hiccup, we might be able to short the entire structure. That'd be a pretty beautiful thing. So now we have to see if this 5th wave is actually complete now, which I don't think it is. I think we're gonna need a little bit more time for it to complete that particular structure. Yeah, this structure here. But as you can see, for the wave 3, we are definitely getting lower for wave 5. So it looks to be consistent. Here's a big spike for the wave 3 region, smaller for wave 5. The 1 hour is the same thing. The 2 hours is the same thing so far, but we haven't seen a curvature to the negative side yet, where it's flopping over. This might be the very last few waves going up. So I'm extremely interested in the short position right now for Cardano. Okay, so that could be something like this, right? For this particular structure right there, heck, I'm down for that. This time frame right here alone accounted for only 4 days, and it moved up 78%. That's pretty friggin' volatile. So it's kind of behind everything right now. It hasn't really majorly corrected yet. So this is actually pretty exciting right now to see one of these coins that we're catching on a major uptrend where we have a major potential for a short. Have we seen it on Link? Yes. Have we seen it on the Mise Go? Yes. And that's only been in the past week. Trust me, guys, when I say that this coin here is parabolic moving to the upside here for months now, it's been off of everyone's radar because, well, for the past week, this has been consolidating and it barely even moved. It barely downtrended compared to the other coins, only at 20%, where others dropped between 40 to 60. And now all of a sudden this is rallying hard. It rallied literally today alone. In the past hour and a half, 20%. Yeah, so I'm putting it on your radar right now. This is a very interesting coin to be watching right now. It is reaching the peak of where it reached the peak for coins like OMG Go, right? You take a look at coins like Link here. Okay, let's just clear all this. We don't need any more. Here's Atom, and here's Lend. So what's really cool right now, if you compare all of these structures, okay? All of these structures, OMG Go got the biggest spike, okay? Right? Right here. OMG Go got the biggest spike and the biggest drop, which killed people in the market. I know a lot of people got liquidated in the market because they were blasting me and stuff. Pretty funny. And then this one here, Link didn't get the biggest flash. It more like gave us a really big signal, a small little signal here. One doji, but the bulls pushed through. Second one, not that reliable. I think it's a kind of like a warning. Here's like so many uptrends already, and we were seeing bearish signs already. Especially on the, was it the 12-hour? Yeah, it was just reaching a peak where no one getting higher on the RSI and so much bearishly diverging. But the thing about Link is that it steadily came down, right? It consolidated, came down, consolidated, came down, consolidated, came down, bounced. 55 EMA. And here you see Atom, right? Where it's behind these two phases. It's so annoying sometimes having it on the window here like this. You always got to keep moving it to the right and clicking here. I wish it just automatically did that, but I don't think there's a way for it to do that, right? Whoops. For it to just automatically scroll all the time, even after like I've changed the screen. Never mind. So if we take a look at here at Atom, you can clearly see that it's behind in terms of correction compared to both Link and OMG Go, right? Just take a look at the formation. You can just tell. You know what I'm saying? So, like, where's the rest of it, right? It's not that long. This one here has already had days to form. Okay? So now you take a look at it here. It's at about 10 days in, the correction. This one's at about 20 days in. Or sorry, this one's 10 days in for Link. For OMG Go, it's only 5 days. So Link is obviously leading the pace at 20 days for correction. OMG Go is slightly catching up with it, right? Because if you take a look at Link, it started downtrending on the 15th, whereas OMG Go started downtrending on the 20th. So while Link was basically consolidating or downtrending, OMG Go was like, bam, going to the sky, man. But then if you take a look at here, for Atom, it's only been consolidating for about 2 days. Not really that much time, right? So we might be able to catch a short on Atom, but the coolest thing is that Lend hasn't even had a single day of consolidating yet. You know what that means? Very big potential to catch it. Hey guys, you know how it is. You guys know I love tops. It's going to be a very exciting coin to be looking at over the next few days. So here's my possibilities. Don't you guys like potential trades? I'm in a long right now from OMG Go. It's not really that big though. It's only about 4K. Got in at about 512. Just purchased a bunch there. Let's see it. It's not really big. I have everything allocated to another coin. It's a secret coin right now. Way more. So anyways, it was only 512. Targeting about 535 at first just to see where it's at. But more so targeting the Fibonacci 5.57 range. Yeah, so it's a perfect place to be taking profit for OMG Go in my opinion. Because if we look at it very closely, it broke out of here already. Okay, broke out of here already, and now it's staying at the 55 EMA range, hovering above it. See, that's the breakout point. I started buying it down on the dips over here around 8 o'clock, and I thought it was going to break down for a few moments, but I kept seeing it glide over here. Threw it right over pretty hard, but hopefully that actually is a rally, not a throw over. Could have taken profit there at 539, but I didn't because I'm Well, I was making this video first of all, and yeah, and I'm pretty confident that it's going to take the entire Fibonacci range from here. Why from there? Because of the 90-minute chart. That's where the crossover originally began. So I gave it a very conservative target of this particular structure, and doing that, I get $5.58 right here, 5.58, but I just rounded it to 5.57, which will yield me a profit of 9% or $350 on a $4,000 position today. So that's kind of my position. But back to blend. Very exciting, isn't it? Another small rally up probably, and then we're going to catch the short, guys. So I don't know if that's actually I don't know, like I don't it's pretty parabolic, man. Like I got to be really really careful with these kind of trades because it gets really aggressive. So I don't know if that's actually the first wave or if that's like going to be the first wave of 5 more, right, where it makes an extended 5th wave. Okay, it makes an extended 5th wave, like a super aggressive bullish one, and then everyone gets liquidated because they count 5 waves within this first subwave right there, and then everyone gets liquidated because they're all going short trying to catch the top, but it makes a really short subwave 2 retracement of the 5th subwave extension, or of the 5th wave extension. Do you know what I mean? And then people get really thrown off, and then that's when you parabolically go up even more with small, super freaking small. Okay, that's what it looks like. So this is what I'm talking about. Pay attention. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then 5 is actually finished. People are like dancing in their underwear because they count 5 subwaves. Well, guess what? That wasn't actually just 5 subwaves that completed it. This was actually the first subwave of the 5th wave extension, where that's actually just a 1, and then it makes a 2. Okay? And then a 3. Actually, I'm going to be more detailed. This does that, and then people are counting 5 waves down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what they're counting. But what happens is this. Only 1, 2, and 3 get formed. Why? Because this ends up becoming the ABC that you consider. ABC, which is the same thing as 1, 2, 3. Would you agree? In this aspect? Yeah, you would agree. There's no other way to argue it. ABC would be equivalent to 1, 2, 3. But people are thinking that it's short because they don't realize that it might be a really bullish market. And then what ends up happening is this becomes a 1. That becomes a 2. And then there's actually a 3 going up. And it's massive because all the shorts get liquidated. And then 4, short one as well, then 5. And this is how you get your parabolic functions to the upside even more. Okay? Because if you actually take a look at this structure, and you just keep drawing the waves, right? What you notice from each one is that it gets sharper and sharper, the increase. See what I'm doing on purpose? Right? It parabolically goes to the upside. Okay? It curves upwards. And the last one, of course, you know. So it basically ends up curving upwards like this. And 5th wave extensions are just great ways to make a lot of possible money in a short period of time. Right? So that's how they end up looking. Okay? So that's a possible 5th wave extension, and that needs to be extremely clear. Okay? So I hope that was a really good example for what I'm talking about. So once again, people are confused by the fact that it's like just a 1, and then you get an ABC, or you get a 1, 2, 3 rather, where they think it's part of the first zigzag, right, of the first subwave, but then they end up getting destroyed because it's actually an ABC instead, and the 5th wave extension just goes bam to the moon. And we've seen coins like that already. Would you like to see an example? Alright, this might seem like the most ridiculous example, but trust me, it's going to hit home. We have done this many times before, okay? Where we have deduced that this This actually makes a lot of sense. Okay? So we've been doing this and saying that this is wave 1. Okay, and this was incredibly bullish. We're talking about from down here to up there. It actually made a 236 retracement. Very bullish. So we're going to say it's going to hit at least 1618. And then you go back and you actually do that. And guess what? It hits a 2618, right? Oh, sorry. Did I take the right place? Let me double check. My bad. I didn't take the right place. Let me do it again. I drew it in though this time. So from there to there, that's the peak. Or sorry, this peak to this peak. Okay, I keep drawing the wrong one. I'm sorry. That peak to this peak to that peak there. That's the first wave. So then you get 1618. And we say to ourselves that this was a very bullish retracement from down here to up there at 236. So yeah, it actually ended up nailing it. So that means that this was actually the first wave. Okay? Surprising as it was the first wave. That's how we're going to have to break it down. Super, super sharp corrections. Right? Sharp and fast. And they're meant to destroy. Because the first one barely corrected, we're going to assume the second one, by rule of alternation, is going to correct hard and fast as well. So this one sharply corrected to 618. So then we know that the last structure here is going to make a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we just call it quits, right? So here's where people thought it'd be done, right? Maybe even around that structure, they thought it was going to be really small. Okay, does that make sense? Maybe a little bit higher than 1618 because of how sharp it corrected, and then we're done, right? So people could have mistaken it for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that could have been like the ABC in there. But instead, it could have just been the first wave. And then it makes a gigantic fifth freaking wave, right? Or third wave going to the upside. So it's kind of a fake out for the wave 2, right? The wave 2 is where it fakes out that I was talking about, where people think that it's like basically 1, 2, 3 coming down, but it's really an ABC. And then this one most likely made it some huge wave there like that, and a very truncated fifth. So that's my example of a fifth wave extension that's pretty epic, right? So OMG Go is a really good example right now, and well, I'm not even sure where the heck I was getting this to, but I'm just saying that so it's just like to babble about topics, okay? I don't know why. It's been very fun lately. So now I'm gonna go back to this coin and see if I can remember what the heck I was talking about. I'm just saying that, okay, I remember now. I remember. I was saying that it could be, right, a fifth wave extension. We don't want that. I want it to be done soon. So that's why I'm like on the fence right now. Because I remember what happened when I was like, oh, $6.50, $7 for OMG Go, and then I never even entered a trade because I think I was like drinking at my friend's house and I didn't want to work. But I do remember like saying that and people got really mad. So I don't want to enter a trade yet because I've had some bad memories of seeing very similar things on coins like OMG Go and then just being completely wrong because I was too aggressive in entering the trade. So Lend is definitely on our radar. Let's get this bastard on here. Lend just made its way to the top. I am not kidding. Where the heck are my other coins? Am I only doing Link or OMG Go? Did I do Cardano today? I don't think I did, right? That's fine. Insert rows. Okay, you just got promoted there, then. So we updated this August 1:15 a.m. Okay, now let's update this bad boy. So Len, 11.9 and 85.6 cents. Eight five six, 11.2%. That's crazy. You gotta admit, that's pretty cool though, right? 11.2. Whatever. I'm just gonna call this text. Got formatted properly. Currency, date, time. I'm just gonna say all. There we go. It's 11.6. So lend is fucking bullishling hard. I'm gonna call it bullishling hard. No, I'm just gonna be professional about it. It's extremely bullish. Equivalent to link and OMG in bull run may reach top very soon and crash hard. Wave structure, it's in probably the fifth major wave. Most likely possible wave done entirely, or fifth wave extension may occur. This is all price action trading now, guys. RSI is very, very on the high side. Are we actually dropping right now as we speak? Because if that's fucking happening, and I'm right, I'm gonna be like pretty happy about it. It looks like it's the final wave, right? Like that's one, doesn't it? Like just looks like that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and literally this is like the fifth one right there. So we can break it down even further. And then we break it down, then we say that could be 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's literally the fifth one possibly. Because if you take a look at this particular structure right here, right, that's the first wave there. This one makes a 2618. That one makes like about a 4618 almost. Like 2618. This highly exceeded it. So we know for a fact that this is the very final wave of this structure right here. That's a fact. Okay, just based on how everything empirically looks like, right? And here we see break down even further. As long as the third wave is not the shortest, we're good. We know that the first wave is the shortest, and we're just looking up there. Therefore, now we want to break down this particular wave right here. But the thing is, we don't know. That we also have to debate the fact that that could be wrong, and this could just be 1, 2, and that could be subwaves 1, 2, and it could be a 3, 4, and 5, something like that, right? Because then it's only making the first subwave of the 3, where it's making a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, which completes the third, and then there's still a fourth coming down, right? So you got to be careful of that, which I think that's very likely actually. Because we're not seeing any type of bearishly diverging signs yet, where it's got the crossover action like this. Okay, where there's the red one, goes something like that, and then there's the blue one, where it crosses over one time, it crosses back up, and the third crossover is the one that you really want to short. And then the structure, if this was the histogram, it would look like this, right? You guys remember it? The histogram looked like that, where it's coming in high, and then it dips down a little bit, and this one gets like a lower high, and that's where it goes over again. So you get the 3 crossovers as well. 1, 2, 3. 1, right? 2 right there. I'm sorry if I didn't draw that accurately, but you get what I'm saying. I hope you do. So I think that we're very much so close to the end here. Whoo! Very exciting, guys. Very, very exciting times, right, for profit. So now we're sitting on OMG Go. That's pretty high up there on the potential list, right? Lend, you gotta just freaking, who cares about the RSI right now? But it's obviously bearishly diverging. Right, very much so on all time frames, I'd say. Completely overbought on higher time frames, like to 2-day. The 2 days like in the 92s, right? 2-day RSI is 92. That's so high right now.
Okay, the MACD, I don't see any solid signs of a crossover yet. There's still solid signs of a rally with a possible last wave. So it's hard for me to really be really decisive about it. MACD, still very bullish. No signs on any time frames of major crossover yet. Okay, price action is all bullish across the board on every single candle. 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour, 8 hour, 12 hour, daily, 2 day, everything. So that means that it's gonna be a sharp drop. Okay, so now the doji it's very bullish. All time frames, no momentum loss. Okay, so what's my conclusion? Oops. So this is my opportunity and thoughts. It's that one more wave upwards, okay? So the opportunity is to long or short. Opportunity is to short. Okay? Caution on it. On this coin. Right? That's kind of just my general thoughts on it. But in terms of my prediction, it would be predicting one more sub wave up or fifth wave extension. Right? So here I'm just gonna list everything, right? Due to what would I say here? I'm thinking. Due to no MACD or steady R-side decrease loss, I'm indecisive. It forces me to be indecisive of the timing to short. Therefore requires a few more hours today. So therefore monitor for another up to a day to enter. Sure. It's too bullish. Okay, so I'm predicting one more subwave up or fifth wave extension. Right? Price, I don't know. That's just my prediction. So I wanted to update that for you guys tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. There's going to be a major opportunity coming up very soon. I hope that you will partake in it with me. Have yourself a great night and thank you very much for watching. Bye.